Queen's Comic Podcast. Hey, let's go.
Yeah. It's the Queen's Comic Podcast. I'm Billy Bombs.
I'm Ian.
And we're doing double intros today. That was funny. It is so hot that we're like all a little bit lost. It's kind of hysterical.
When I left my
But
office today and walked out into the heat in Manhattan, no word of a lie, I almost threw up.
I had that moment. I had to walk the dog at like 6 a.m.
Mhm.
He woke me up. He regretted it instantly once we walked outside. But yeah, poor guy. And then I end up getting today's my day off. We do these podcasts on Tuesdays because it's my day off. It's the only day off I really have. I had to wait for HVAC to show up to do an apartment. He kind of is taking forever. Plus, the tenant moved out and all this stuff. It's been one of those days, but like it's okay. And then I had to go to Astoria, help somebody else. Da da da. We're done. We're live. We got a few things here to show off, but I got to tell people the story of like why we're not having a show for the summer.
Yeah, do it.
All right. This is kind of funny. I'm going to tell it in the most comical way possible, but at the same time, insult the shit out of the people involved. The venue, this is 50% our problem, 50% there's a problem with the venue right now. They got all mad about a car blocking the ramp because they didn't bother telling me, listen, whoever blocks the ramp, I block the ramp. If it's you, me, or anybody else, it's fine. It's not a big deal because it's us. This is brand new to me. Turns out the New York City Police Department borrowed the truck for a diaper run for what they call a Leo MC. Do you know what that is?
No clue.
Law enforcement officer or law enforcement organization motorcycle club for a diaper run. Because I didn't know this. I would have liked to have seen it on the calendar that all the guys had a fun run all the way up to Harlem to drop off diapers. I also was not involved earlier because I had a personal emergency at work. A pipe exploded in one of the apartment buildings. I ran over there to shut off everything. And I came back to like everybody already left, but then they came back. And they're all mad. They're like, listen, they're like, there's always a problem here. Maybe we need a break. And I was like, I make a living off doing these shows. I was like, I can't afford a break. I was like, fine. But the only reason I didn't push it was because there was no AC for the summer.
Yeah.
There's not an AC unit at all. Like, I don't really care about parking at all. We can move each other's cars. We trust each other. We work together, all of us. But I was like, yo, we're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how the weather is today. And we got lucky it was an 80-degree day.
Right. And July and August are typically hotter than June.
Of course. And I was like, yo, I can't do this to everybody. A lot of guys feel like they're doing too many shows. Like, and like some guys have quit. Like, we lost City Comics recently. You know what I mean? Like, rest in peace. Somebody was like, he's not dead. I was like, he's dead to me. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't show up. He didn't call nobody. He posted a photo and he nuked his Instagram, and now it's just a personal account. And the Earth's right, rest in peace to his photo, just so I could make that joke, was holding me back so much. And I just couldn't help it. But life happens. This is not for everybody. The pandemic is over, and a lot of guys who were just buying and selling comics have left the room. You know what I mean? It's kind of over. Now it's going to be, if we do it every couple of months, I'll be happy. I want to do monthly, but we're going to start doing more of the Bronx, other Brooklyn shows, some new Queen shows doing it, like a big wrestling convention with wrestlers. And they were like, oh, it's just Cosmic Con on Queens Boulevard. And so I'm not worried. I like Cosmic Con, but like, I'm not competing with them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care.
Right.
I'm competing with myself. Like, what I can one up in the next comic book party. You went up to our new show up in the Bronx Comic Party. Did you do well?
I mean, I was just there to shop. I wasn't set up, but
No. We're just talking about buying comics now.
Yeah.
Because
No,
in
it was
reality,
fun.
me and you alternate who's a nerd and who's a seller.
it was fun. I have a small stack of stuff. Well, actually, a reasonably sized stack of stuff that I'll show off. Some of which is from the Bronx event. Some of which was from, a trip to Anthony's on July 4th. Some of which, a couple things came from Midtown here and there. Some stuff I forgot to show off last time that I don't remember where I got. So, yeah, I got some stuff. But no, the Bronx show, it was cool. I would have liked some AC in the venue there, too. But it was open. There was a breeze. We were out of the sun. So I didn't feel like everybody was baking, which was good.
Yeah.
I don't know how the vendors did because I wasn't there all day. I hung out for 2 hours. I had a good time. I drank a beer. I talked to some friends, brought my wife along. She had a pretty good time too.
Your wife was fantastic. She had fun. She made, she was like the funnest person I talked to at the show because it was just like refreshing to have somebody that wasn't talking about comics all day.
Yeah, she's good for that. But yeah, no, it was cool. It was something a little different. I like the venue. I like the space.
If we do every 3 months in the Bronx, every 3 months in Queens, every 3 months in deep in Brooklyn, I'll be happy because that's enough to like. Everybody wants to hang out. I want to keep it hanging out and then bring in new people, like not new vendors, but new customers to check out what we do. Something happened at the Bronx show that kind of got to me a little bit, not in a bad way. I met a couple of the people who listen to the podcast. Thank you for listening and thanks for coming by. One of them was Richard. He was hilarious. I'm sure he's gonna hear this and be like, "Oh, it's me," He was great. But then other dudes were like, "Yo, I love doing these shows. I love coming out to them. I need to do this once a month." I was like, "Yeah, man, this is like a space for us to hang out." You know what I mean?
Right.
And people worry about where they're at in life and if it's enough. And I have to remind people, you're always enough. And no matter where you are, there you are. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Don't worry. Like, don't worry about nothing. Don't worry about falling in love, all that stuff. I've been posting all week because I've been kind of bummed dealing with people. There's only two things you don't chase: love and death, because that'll find you. That'll find you, and everything else in life you need to chase. Go chase your dreams of work. Do this. I have one dream other than doing the comic party. I ain't telling nobody what it is because I can't make it work yet. But congratulations to Gary Esposito because he just made his dream come true. He bought the Animal Planetary or Animal Pantry up in Brooklyn. So now he owns a pet store. One of our vendors from Brooklyn Comics opened up his own pet store. Like, he overtook an old school one.
It's funny. I haven't seen Gary in a few months, but interact with him online occasionally. And last time I did see him, he was telling me that he was hoping he could pull that off. And he was
telling me too but
talking to the bank.
I was like, good luck.
Yeah, and he did it, and I think that's great. And if I had a pet, I would drive there and buy my pet food, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna make that my pet spot now for Rocky.
Yeah.
The thing is for him, like, he didn't give up.
Right.
He was trying to find a way to make it work no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And like he said it best, where am I gonna be at the next 10, 15 years? I want to know.
Yeah.
And that's a really good conversation to have with oneself.
Mm-hmm.
Where you want to be in life? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Go in that direction. If you love what you're doing, do it. But if you're not sure, pivot and go to somewhere else. You know what I mean? This comic book stuff, I don't like not being in control of the venue or not being able to run the place. I do love that I have for the next 6 months the ability to bust balls on the guy who blocked the ramp. And I know he's listening to this being like, he's going to write down shit to make fun of me about because I know he knows I'm going to come at him hard. But we're going to have fun with it because I can't be mad. Life happens. You know what I mean? Like, it just happens. But the problem is, like, too much stuff happens with that place sometimes. And then we, like, for 64-1 with shows, I've never canceled a show. My father passed away and I still had a show. I sat in the back. You know what I mean? It's the principle of it. But, you're like, all right, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It's fine. We're going to keep making it work because giving up is the worst thing. It really is. Giving up is the worst thing.
Yeah.
You want to show off your comics? I'm just opening up packages because I have stuff to show, but I just got the mail.
Yeah, sure. I'll go. Some of the stuff, a lot of the stuff I have not read yet because I've just been so freaking busy.
Not. You had no time.
But yeah, the first issue of Eerie magazine, they spelled it differently to avoid a lawsuit from Warren, I assume. A lot of Mike Hoffman.
Fantastic cover.
Mike Hoffman.
Mike Hoffman, nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mike Hoffman artwork in here. I don't know if you're familiar with him or not. He did a Tour of Satana comic book a while back. He's done some artwork for Thor, Canadian heavy metal superhero Thor, who I'm proud to call a friend.
Your favorite man.
He's a great guy. So yeah, Hoffman's done some artwork for him. He's not really as well known as he probably should be. There's a huge Frazetta Wrightson influence in his stuff. So
I can see it from the guy with the axe.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's total Frazetta love on that painting right there. I picked up issue 3 of Warm Fusion from Distillery.
Oh, I know. I gotta read. I have the signed book that Matthew gave it to us. I still have to read that one.
So I read issue 1 and issue 2. Well, I read issue 1, liked it enough to buy issue 2, liked issue 2 enough to buy issue 3. I just haven't had time to read issue 3 yet because I just picked it up on Sunday. So,
give me an opinion on that. Do you feel like Distillery with their oversized books are going to last? Or do you think they're going to pivot back to regular sized books one day?
I think they might pivot eventually, but oversized doesn't bother me personally. I don't care. I'll buy what I like. I don't care about the size.
Yeah, and the price point is not that bad for how big the artwork is for me.
It's
Ten
really
bucks is
not.
cool.
I don't mind paying a buck or two extra for good quality paper in a larger size format.
Yeah,
Uh,
100%.
I do know people out there who will not buy oversized magazines, period. They just won't do it.
Yeah.
Their loss. It's a
Yeah.
good story.
I have those those books that you put in those magazine holders.
Yeah.
I have two just for distillery. One that's full and then the other one I'm filling up because I'm a big fan of all the stuff they've been putting out.
What I've read, I've enjoyed. I read
Mhm.
Somna, which was excellent, and I read Spectrograph, which was also really good. And then, yeah, Warm Fusion is. I mean, we'll see how it ends because I think it's only a 3-issue series. We'll see how it ends. But the
Nice.
first 2 issues I liked a lot. So thanks to Matt for introducing us to that one. Uh,
Fantastic.
Weekend ago, I went to Desert Island. I found this in the dollar bin. Nice Linsner cover for a buck. Take
Oh,
that.
nice. Desert Island, I like the new store. I haven't gone in there to get yelled at by Gabe yet, but I love it.
Yeah, yeah. Our friend Ray, who is graded my living room on Instagram. Good guy. Helped me out. The last issue I needed to finish the run. This is a difficult run to finish.
Of course, because every cover is a different guy doing it,
Yeah,
right? It's not Frank Miller became a different person.
he found it. Ray just likes to dig, you know? I think I'll send Ray on a few more missions now because he's good at finding stuff. So I owe
Nice,
Ray a
nice.
favor for this. He gifted that to me. I was very happy. So thanks again, Ray. Um, this I think came from a dollar bin at Street Side Anthony's place. It's a Kirby Fantastic Four thing. I haven't read it yet, but there's it's like some lost, I guess, unpublished Kirby Fantastic Four artwork in it.
Um, can you show me the cover real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Can you move away from the thing? Is that Jack Kirby 100%?
Yeah,
Can you send me that?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I have a
Um,
little bit surprised with the thing and my tattoo artist coming up, but I can't find a cover I like.
okay. Yeah, I'll give you like a high res scan if you want.
Please, that would help out a lot.
Sure. But yeah, it has between 1961 and 1970, Lee and Kirby produced 102 consecutive issues of Fantastic Four, as well as 6 annuals. However, there was a 103rd issue they'd begun working on, but which was never completed. Portions of the story saw print some months later as an extended flashback in Fantastic Four 108. The original incarnation of that tale has never been finished until now. Working from Kirby's penciled pages and their extensive border notes, Stan Lee and Joe Sinnott reunited to complete what they'd begun 38 years earlier, aided by Ron Frenz and Chris Sotomayor. So yeah, it's previously unreleased Kirby Fantastic Four. Pretty cool.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Um, are you excited for the film coming out?
Kinda. Cautiously optimistic.
You know what got me hooked? The last trailer. When
Last trailer was
when
good.
Silver Surfer came down, the omnibus, I herald his beginning, I herald your end, I herald Galactus, and I was like, that's what I want in a comic movie.
I will say, and I'm going to try and see it with an open mind. I don't like the way the Silver Surfer looks. It has nothing to do with the gender swap. I don't care about that. It's a fictional character. Who cares, right? I don't like the way it looks. The Silver Surfer looks.
Yes.
But we'll see.
What I'm go on.
That's it. We'll see.
My excitement is it that Galactus is the only character in the multiverse that exists.
Mhm.
Him and Molecule Man are going to be the only two characters that exist on all planes. One being,
Yeah.
you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of a Nexus character, where they keep having timelines split off, there's only one of them. And I thought that was so cool that they're going to push that for him. So for him to join our universe, the 60s Fantastic Four
Yeah.
are going to probably jump through the multiverse, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah. Well, I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't. Pedro Pascal would not have been my first choice for Reed Richards, but I do think he's a good actor, so I'll let him do his thing.
Who would have been number one for you? Because R.I.P. the good Doctor Doom.
I don't know. I honestly don't know who I would have picked.
It's a hard role. I did not like the guy playing Ben Grimm because honestly, like I kind of expected somebody who looks like Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
And I say this biasly because I look like Jack Kirby. You know what I mean? Like I have a skin in this game on that one.
Right.
But when you see them work together, Johnny Storm works to me. Ben Grimm works. Sue Storm is perfect.
Yeah. I mean, we'll
You know
see.
what I mean?
The
And
only,
just
like I
Pedro
said,
Pascal is like a little bit off, but let's see how it goes.
right. I saw the trailer. I thought, all right, this looks like something I would enjoy. You know, I would have changed the look of the Silver Surfer a little bit. It looks a little too Silver Surfer looks a little too liquid silver to me. I think that's what it is. but we'll see.
Well,
Maybe.
you know what it is? I like the movie, the last one with Michael Chiklis' thing, because the Silver Surfer went into his board and came out.
Yeah.
But let's give it a shot.
Anyway, yeah. Back to my pile of stuff. Conan number 21.
Sorry, we're like movie guys that we get into it sometimes.
Yeah, Dan Panosian's doing a great job on the covers for this series, and Jim Zub. I admit maybe I'm a little biased because I went to college with the guy and he's a personal friend, but Jim's stories in the new Titan Conan run are excellent. He's not under the thumb of Disney and Marvel, so he can play to a more adult audience, and he's doing just that. So it's Conan the way it should be.
Dan Panosian, would you have picked up the book just on his artwork if your friend didn't write it for the covers?
I mean, I'd pick him out of dollar bins and give him a chance.
Fair, fair, because that's how I feel. Because he was doing so many good covers for DC,
Mm-hmm.
and then and then I don't know if they're still going on, but now they're trying to do. They always have like a new flavor of the week kind of guy, which I don't like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I like one artist to go across. You know what I mean? For a couple of months or maybe a year or two, just do one cover. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Next up, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Anyway, this came from Anthony's, and it's an upgrade because the copy I had that I bought as a kid is completely trashed from having been read so many times, and it was not a mint condition copy to begin with. But Dark Knight Returns number 2.
Still the legendary book.
Yeah, still one of the greatest Batman illustrations in the history of Batman, I think, is that cover right there. Like, that is so badass.
That's the line I always tell Pop Fuzz whenever we're shopping.
Uh-huh.
You know, like Superman deep down inside, he's good.
Yeah.
Deep down inside, I'm not. I love that line.
Yeah.
That's from that run. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I picked this up from Calamity in the Bronx, Astonishing Tales number 6.
Beautiful cover of Doom.
Nice cover. It is the first cameo appearance of Bobby Morse before she becomes Mockingbird.
Oh, nice, nice.
Not
What's
named.
the second story on the left?
Oh, it's Kazar.
Nice.
And it's illustrated by Barry Windsor Smith. And it's like done on the same level as those Conan pages. So the artwork is fantastic.
Nice.
I am missing, I think it's issue 8 is the last of the Doctor Doom run in this. I have the first 7, so I'm tracking down issue 8. That's
very nice.
It's not like a crazy expensive book, so it shouldn't be too difficult. This I bought at Midtown because I liked the Momoko cover. Bug Wars number 1.
Yeah. I like when she does other books, but like I like sometimes it's so creepy, it's cool.
It's creepy. She's got a bunch of eyes in her head and stuff. It's a weird cover. Jason Aaron wrote it. I typically like Jason Aaron's storytelling.
I love that man.
Yeah,
The best Thor run
didn't
ever.
work for me, but outside of that, he's got a lot more hits than misses.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked this up in the Bronx from Carl, purely for the cover.
Beautiful cover. Jenny Frison is fantastic.
Yeah, it's one of, I mean, Frison's Vampirella covers are always really nice, but the negative space in this, I think, just ties it together so nicely. And like the line art and the curves on her figure and everything, it's not super exaggerated. You know, sometimes Vampirella is drawn with massive jugs and it looks ridiculous. A woman could look like this. It's not so far from the possibility. And the color work on it is excellent. And that little bit of blood coming out of her lips there, it's like perfect little accent on there.
Real quick before I forget, you're 100% right of this Vampirella run. I have a stack of cards here, Vampirellas, and they're so exaggerated.
Yeah.
Like this is the most normal one, but I forget who's the artist for this stuff.
That's from the Warren run, right?
I think so. This is Famous Monsters of Filmland, but there's a whole stack of cards here. Like if you ever want to flip through it, like I'm always looking for stuff like that. But I do love Vampirella. The stories stink, but the artwork's always on point.
Yeah, I agree. I would say that, like, in terms of the way she's been depicted over years, that the Warren stuff wasn't nearly as exaggerated as it would later become when
they start off good, and then the 90s made everything crazy.
Yeah, the 90s was the 90s, and so everything was exaggerated, whether you were male. Women had massive jugs and huge asses and narrow hips, and men had arms the size of
pouches everywhere.
Yeah, it was insane. It was a bad time for comics.
It was fun times, but little feet.
Yeah, I mean, I look back on it through rose-tinted glasses because, you know, I was growing up and I had a lot of fun at the time. But rereading a lot of that stuff is tough.
Yeah.
What else here? I got Willie Murphy's Flamed Out Funnies number 2.
That's very nice. I thought I was jealous when you showed me that.
Yeah, I picked that up from JC at Lone Wolf Comics. And then Street Side Anthony. Some of these I picked up Friday because on July 4th he did a half price sale in the
Mm.
Bronx, and that's where a lot of those dollar bin books came from. But a couple of them I also picked up on Saturday, or I'm sorry, on Sunday in the Bronx because I ran out of time on Friday. I didn't get to go through all the boxes. So working on my Son of Satan run because why not? It's not a very big run.
Is that Gene Cologne?
Sorry.
Was that Gene Cologne run?
I honestly don't remember who does the art on these. It's been so
For
long. I
some reason, it
started it
always
like a
ran through
couple of
my
years
head.
ago and kind of forgot about it, and then he had them for
Mhm.
cheap, so I was like, all right, cool. So I picked up the last two issues of Marvel Spotlight that I needed with the Son of Satan stories in them.
So good, those covers,
They're
man.
great. They're
That is
great.
so dope.
And these are in pretty decent shape for what I paid for them. They're not 9/8, but I don't care about that. Um, and then issue 6
Very
of
nice.
the ongoing series. So I need one more issue to complete my Son of Satan run, and then that's done. And I can go to the grave knowing that I have every issue of Son of Satan.
Yeah.
I'm also working on the Astonishing Tales Deathlock run. So I picked up these.
Oh, I remember you telling me. Yeah.
Yeah, pick those.
Those are nice.
Great covers. They're both George Perez, I think.
He
Not,
loved doing that character. The Deathlock and Wonder Man was like his favorite character to draw in the Marvel universe.
uh-huh.
And I find that very cool and interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Deathlock's just a cool looking character. Sometimes the stories are terrible, but it doesn't matter so much when you're a cyborg with a half metal face and like a green rotting flesh and a cool gun.
I love that they retconned him more to be a time traveler in the
Yeah,
comics now, and I thought that was so cool.
yep. And then this also came from Anthony, Superman Adventures #1, with a very cool
Oh,
wraparound cover by Bruce Timm.
now, is it Mark Millar run Superman, or is that later on?
No, this is Superman Adventures, so it's Paul Dini, Rick Burchett, and Terry Austin. But I bought it mainly because I liked Bruce Timm stuff. And
100%. But Mark Millar got his start in American comics writing Superman Adventures.
did he? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's why when you get the omnibus, everybody's looking for it because it's like Crazy Tales
Yeah.
when he first got a chance to write it. I love Superman.
Okay. Yeah, I did not know that. I have said before, and as you know, I'm not the world's biggest Superman fan,
Yeah.
but I do like the Superman Adventure style. I like the artwork in this. I like Paul Dini's work, so I'll give it a shot. Maybe Superman for kids will appeal to me more. We'll see.
You probably, yeah, maybe.
What else did I get? Well, it wouldn't be an episode of our podcast if I didn't have some stupid Charlton horror books to show off, right? So pick these up. I think all three of these came from Nelvis, our friend Nelson. Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves, #45. I don't know who did this cover, but it's pretty awesome.
That is a cool ass cover.
Yeah, you got a melting face, you got a skull monster coming out of a giant skull, and then an ominous shadow in the background, and then another skull up here. There's a lot of skulls going on. I got Scary Tales #43, which now that I look at it, holy shit, I did not notice this when I bought them. They're the same cover.
Yeah. Oh, they were together with you the other day, right?
Sorry?
When you showed me that, they were in the same pile, right?
Yeah.
I thought I was having like a double take because I was looking at it quick while I was like had the fan blowing on me. Like that is cool.
Well, Charlton would do anything to save a few bucks. They were probably the cheapest publisher in the history of the medium. And the colors are a little different, but these are a good 5 years apart. And also, yeah, because this has got a 25-cent cover price. This has got a 60-cent cover price. So this is going to be
There's
early
some notes
70s.
on the back.
It's going to be 80s.
There's notes on the back.
It just says March 84.
Oh, all right, my bad.
Then speaking of awesome Charlton covers, I posted this on my Instagram page last night. Baron Werewolf's Haunted Library #27 with this fantastic brain monster breaking out of his shackles and attacking this couple, who I'm going to assume is like maybe the doctor who gave him birth and his pretty daughter or something like that. So my computer just crashed, but I was talking about this awesome Charlton cover here with the guy with an exposed brain breaking out of his shackles like Frankenstein style, attacking a scared-looking scientist and his hot daughter.
And I always thought that I was trying to say the scientist always looks like shit in the drawing.
Scientist looks a lot like Colonel Sanders, actually. I don't know why
Yeah,
that
but like
is.
shitty Sanders, bro.
Yeah,
Because the girl's face is cool, the monster's good, and it's like he squiggles in the scientist.
yeah, probably. He's like, oh, I got to fill in some space here. I'll just draw Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, well, totally.
Yeah. All right, moving right along. I got Yellow
I
Dog
love your T-shirt
25.
today, by the way.
What?
Your T-shirt's fantastic.
Great moments in American history.
I got a TCB ring. I'm all about it.
Right. Yeah, Yellow Dog number 25 from the
Nice.
Legendary Underground series.
When
This
you get a
one,
chance, I'm going to show you a bunch of yellow dogs that I have.
yeah, cool. This one I'm going to show last for reasons that will make sense later. These I got from you. You got a Department of Truth variant that I needed.
I love those. I love Department of Truth. So good.
It's a great series. A1 number one, the epic version, not the Atomica version. A lot of good
Yeah, yeah.
articles on that. And Ticks Back number 0, one shot.
Cool.
Always happy to have more Tick. Some newer books. I don't read a lot of them anymore, but I am still reading and enjoying Incredible Hulk. So number 26, great cover on
Nice.
there.
That is a sick cover.
Cool story with the Winter Soldier showing up in it. It works. It's not like a forced cameo. It makes sense for him to be there. The writing on that Hulk series is pretty solid. Spider-Man versus Predator number 3, which I am still enjoying. This is absolutely the goriest Spider-Man comic I have ever read.
Awesome.
Yeah, makes total
I
sense.
love
Chris
it.
Craven in too.
Of course, the Hunters.
Yep. Local Man number 1, which I found in the Dollar Bin in Midtown.
Very cool.
Pretty fun read. And then Necrotica, which has art from S. Clay Wilson and Spain Rodriguez in it, as well as Tim Tyler. It's a Fathom Press, black and white kind of outlaw comic book from the late 90s.
I'm jealous that Spain Rodriguez is in there.
It's crazy that Spain Rodriguez and S. Clay Wilson are in there. You wouldn't think so. It's later period work for them, but it's good. Last Brooklyn show. I don't think I showed this off. Frontline Combat number 9. The original EC. Always happy to get an original EC. Are you there? Are you frozen? Billy,
It's so
you're
crazy.
back.
No, I'm good. You're frozen again?
All right, you were frozen for a
I'm
second.
good. That
No.
update didn't help.
Yeah,
I was
Zoom-
remote
Zoom
because I
makes
thought
sense.
that, but he gave me a chance to look at the Frontline Combat cover better.
Yeah, okay. What else I got here? I got Metal Hurlant collection.
There's a collection?
Yeah, well, it's old and new, mostly new, but it's got work from Alejandro Jodorowsky. It's got work from Durf Backdurf in it. It's got work from James Stocco, a bunch of French people that I've never heard of, but who do really nice work. Matt Fraction, Mobius, who's obviously been passed away years ago, so that would be older material. But my friend Matthew Allison has a new story in here, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this is an English language edition, but it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I love Metal Hurlant, but I can only find 2 or 3 copies. Of
Yeah,
the
well,
magazines.
if you want to drop some money, Desert Island had about 30 of them in stock when I was there a week ago.
Those are single issues.
No, single issues of the original French series.
No, I want to get that.
Yeah.
Because James Stokey is my favorite artist, like that with the detail.
Mhm.
Durf Backdurf, I've tattooed on my arm, so I gotta get his shit.
Yeah.
And then your buddy's in there too, so I want to get it for that.
Yeah, you would dig it. There's every story in there, like even if the storylines aren't fantastic, and some of them are really good, there's not a page of bad art in the whole thing. It's gorgeous. You can get it for like it's $25, so it's not crazy expensive.
That's great.
And it's
Online order?
I mean it's thick.
No, that's as big as a Judge Dredd case files. I love
It is,
that.
yeah, it's hundreds of pages, so it's like 250 pages, so it's worth
That's
it.
great.
It's worth it. I also placed an order off Jim Rugg's website because Jim Rugg has a new zine out for adults only. And it's
Nice.
reads that are covering your own risk. Uh-oh, what's going on in that stall? I don't know. But it's interesting because this cover art was originally published with originally published for Robin Bougie, the guy who did Cinema Sewer. He did a comic full of like filthy pornographic type stuff, and Jim Rugg did the cover for it. And that's where this originally appeared. But it's a cool zine. I'm gonna show off selective pages here, just showing off a lot of books that were published by like Eros and by Carnal Comics and some of the kitchen sink stuff, some of the Hustler comics that were done.
That is a great cover.
It's almost kind of like a scrapbook. A lot of this stuff I can't show on camera, but it goes over Wally Wood's canon stuff and his Malice in Wonderland stuff. It does, of course, have everybody's favorite included in here, Cherry Pop-Tart.
I love that guy. I love the creator of Cherry
Stuff like
Pop-Tart.
that. It goes over some of the Betty Page stuff that was done, and then like some of the European stuff as well. So it's pretty cool. I was happy to pick that up. And then Jim had a sale on his website at the time I placed the order where you could get 3 of his other zines that were normally $20 each for $10 a piece. So if you bought all 3. So I got Super Mag #1, which is a collection of just like comic strips that he did at various points throughout his career. This one called BW, which is similar to the adults only one. It goes over a lot of the 80s black and white explosion books, like the lesser known ones, like Faust is covered in there, but there's also a lot of Silverwolf comic stuff published in there as well. You could call them power comics type stuff if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And then this one called 86, which he says is the best year in comics, and it goes over all the great stuff that came out in 86, like Dark Knight Returns and Watchmen, all that stuff. So pretty neat stuff there. Moving towards the end, I got a gift card for my birthday at work for $25
Nice.
on Amazon. So I spent it on the hardcover copy of Did You Hear What Eddie Gein Done, which is Eric Powell's graphic novel about the Ed Gein murders that
I love Eric Powell.
yeah, written by Harold Schechter, who taught at my wife's school and who my wife met a couple of times.
That's cool.
Have not had time to read it. Need to set aside time to read stuff. And then the last thing that I paid for, I have stickers covering this selectively, is Jizz Comics #1. I'm not going to hold that up too long for obvious reasons, but it's an absolutely filthy comic by Robert Crumb and Friends. The best story in it is called Dick Nose, which is about a man who has a dick for a nose, and everybody makes fun of him until he has sex with a girl who farts on him while he's having intercourse with his nose, and then he gets poop all over his face. So yeah, it's pretty classy stuff.
Okay, well,
Pretty classy.
I got some G.I. Joe in the mail.
Yeah. Before that, though, I have to show off something that I meant to show off last time and spaced on. For my birthday, our friend Matthew gave me this awesome hardcover book called Halftone Horrors.
Oh, very cool.
Which is by Horror Hound. And it's an absolutely fantastic collection of articles and then cover galleries for horror film adaptations from like the 50s to the present. So we get the cover for every Hammer House of Horror. We get some different international cover galleries in here.
You're bringing me so much pain because it's so nice.
It's so good, yeah. You know, all the Freddy Krueger covers.
Oh, dude, I collect stuff for the covers, and I love horror movies.
Yeah.
Please screenshot me the cover and send it to me.
And it goes over like even the Avatar stuff with all the variants in it too. Like it's really.
Oh, you love Avatar, those comics they came out with for all the horror movie stuff.
An Avatar stand-up guy. All the Toxic Avenger and the Trauma books are covered in here. There's like multiple pages of Army of Darkness and Ash covers because there's so many friggin' variants for those.
Bro, it's painful how many fucking covers there are for that.
Right, yeah. Even the crossovers like Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, which aren't technically a movie adaptation, they're still covered in here. Mignola's Dracula run and the Topps horror comics that came
I love those covers. I love those Dracula covers.
It's a great book. So thank you, Matthew, very much for that. I'll send you a copy of the cover so you can check it out if you want. I think it might be.
I'm gonna find it because I love shit like that.
Yeah, it's just.
I love the artwork for covers more than anything.
Yeah, just a great reference book, and it's a nice thick tome. Like it's got some weight to it.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
That was anything else?
I'm done.
All right. I got one G.I. Joe from when I was a kid, but it's a lot of openings, so it's not a big deal. But 2 things I got just came in. I finally got one T-shirt of Bill Kira.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. This one was just a test run shirt, but the next one's gonna say on the front, it's gonna say Comic Party or Manga Party in Japanese script.
In kanji characters.
And on the back,
In kanji characters.
Kanji, yeah. I wasn't sure if I was right saying that. And on the back will be the logo, but that'll be like a pricier shirt because it's more expensive to make 2 sides. I only got one comic in like a month, but I I got what I need, man. You know what I mean? I know. Let me know if you can see it. This book passed through 14 hands before it ended up on me on Saturday.
Yeah.
The first Poison Ivy with the pinup and everything.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
One of the legendary Carmine Infantino covers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge fan of his. I want all of his covers, but I can't afford them. Well, not that I can't afford them. I know where to put it because the guy did so much work. But I slowly and surely finishing up all of this stuff. It passed through a lot of vendors has before it reached me, but I'm very happy to have it.
Right.
One guy was like, "Oh, there's stains on the cover. There's this," and I was like, "Color me not caring. How about that?"
Yeah.
I want it. It's a 4.0. I don't give a shit.
You know what? A 4.0 is a very respectable grade for a Silver Age book.
Yeah, no shit. It like no, I don't mean like that, but I'm more offended by the guy insulting me for the cover for the stains. I'm like, I don't care. I
Right.
just wanted it. When you want something, you're gonna get it. Only thing now I need from Carmine Infantino is the Batgirl, and then the second thing is one signed book.
Mhm.
One signed book out there from Carmine Infantino. There's 2 autographs out there. No, 3 autographs I need. Kirby, Mobius, and him. That's it, and I'm good. Shoot me. I'm good when it comes to comics.
For
It's
me,
not about quantity, it's about getting quality.
I need a Corbin autograph.
Yes. You bro, for a guy who was 80, I don't see any autographs of his shit ever.
If you look on eBay, they pop up once in a while.
What's the price range?
$100 and up.
All right, fair enough. That one would definitely be up there.
Yeah.
Because I always wish I had his Punisher The End signed by him because I love that book.
It's the best Punisher book ever written.
Yes.
And his art is perfect for it.
Yeah. And leading up to it was Steve Dillon and I forget some of the names because all the covers are done by my favorite artist named Tim Bradstreet. Yeah, he did almost all of them. But that one, it was so different, but it was the perfect ending to the whole run.
Yeah.
It's so brutal. I fucking loved it.
Yeah, it's dark.
Sorry, I'm like a little bit. Yeah, it's so good. What's your goals this summer collecting wise?
I still need an Evil Ernie #1.
All right.
But I don't want
I just got a bunch of Evil Ernies the other day. There was a #1 in there, but it's probably some other Evil Ernie.
Yeah, probably. I need the Eternity #1, the first appearance, which also happens to be the first appearance of Lady Death. So it's a pricey book. I can pick up. You pick them up for a couple $100.
Yeah,
a nice copy.
but the goal is not to pay a couple $100.
Right, exactly. I want to find one at a flea market for $1. No, but I mean, 9.2, 9.4. You're looking at about $400, $400 to $500 for those. So it's not out of reach. I'll throw some stuff up on eBay to pay for it. But
Nice.
Rumor has it that Brian Polito is going to be at Big Apple in the fall. So I'd like to get one before then and have him sign it.
We have a table at Big Apple, by the way.
Yes, we will talk about that at some point soon.
Yeah, but I'm gearing up for that show. We're gonna all the books I'm getting, I'm just pricing and leaving till then.
Okay.
Because we showed up with nothing last year, not knowing we had a booth.
Yeah.
I was like borrowing shit to sell, but it's gonna be it'll be cool. Queen's Comic Party there, and we're gonna be part of like the Big Apple network with Hot Flips and now this weekend's gonna be Eternal Con. So if you want to come hang out with one of us, I'll be at Eternal Con. It'll be great.
Yeah,
we're supposed to have a garage sale. Bernie's gonna run the garage sale because I'm gonna go help. I'm gonna go help Hot Flips. I love hanging out with those guys.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy. But yeah, that's my grail book right now is the Evil Ernie #1. That's been the grail for a few months. I do want a signed Corbin book. I have like out of my top 5 artists, I have signatures from 4 of them. Like I have some Wrightson stuff. I have some Tim Vigil stuff. I got the autographed Crumb hardcover that came out when we went to the speech that he gave at the Y, and then I have some. I guess Mike Kaluta would probably be #5 for me, and I have some stuff from him. I was lucky enough to meet all those guys. I mean, I didn't meet Crumb, but I met Wrightson multiple times. I met Vigil, and I met Kaluta, so I got all those in person, which is the nice way to do it. You know, I love doing it that way.
I love the adventure of meeting people.
Signed remarked Cherry Pop Tart #1 from Larry Wells last year, so that was pretty cool to get. I'd love to get a Spain Rodriguez signature, but that'll be tough. Can't imagine that'll be easy. You're talking about Mobius. I'd love to get Mobius too. That they're out there, but you pay for them.
No, you don't. They're like a $5 signature at the moment.
What?
People, because one of our friends Well, I'm having a brain fart with his Instagram name. Found like 5 of them. They were all people. There's so much Mobius sign stuff out there.
Yeah.
They're like, don't worry about it. Yeah, so don't sweat that.
All right. Well, that's cool. I figured that you have to pay up for them.
Of course, me too.
It's interesting. There's on Minhunt, Minhunter, YouTube channel Minhunter.
Mhm.
So he did an episode a week or two ago about signatures that are very, very tough to find. And one of them that he mentioned was Martin Odell, the Green Lantern Golden Age artist.
Oh, okay.
And I have a signed Martin Odell book that I got signed in person because he did an appearance. I'm almost positive it was a show in Toronto when I was a teenager. And there was a Green Lantern anniversary issue that had come out within a year or two of that appearance that I had, that he did like the cover. I think he did the cover and a couple interior pages. He didn't do the whole thing. And so I had him autographed. So I have a signed Martin Odell book. I'm not willing to part with it, but I have one.
Dude, everybody who listens to us, go meet your favorite writers because God knows what happens to them ever. I'll never get over not meeting Steve Dillon and being actually, all right, this is not to be like an asshole to say this or anything like that. I'm friends with the guy who runs Artist Alley at Reed Pop.
Yep.
And I went up to him, I said, listen, this guy's not been in there for 2 days. You got to go figure it out.
Right.
And he was like, he came back 2 hours later. He's like, yo, we checked in the hotel. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, wow, because I'm a huge Punisher fan. The Preacher I didn't like how Preacher ended. It kind of killed me a little bit.
Mhm.
But Steve Dillon's artwork, it was perfect for it. You know, Detective Soap on Punisher, the way he drew a lot of stuff, I loved it.
Yeah.
You know, but go meet your heroes. You never know what might happen. I've been harassing Joe Kelly for like a month now to come to one of our shows. You're going to get it. You know, it's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of fun, all of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we got anything else to go over? Because I know we're going a little bit over. Because usually we have like a 40-minute show.
Right. Yeah. No, I think it's time for dinner.
Yeah, me too. Ian, bro, I love doing this podcast with you. Thanks for always showing up.
Yeah.
My mental health it gets stuck. It gets put back together. Doing this, talking about life, and anybody who's listening to this, go do something you want to do. I'm a little bit nervous if we can't keep doing these monthly shows because of venues or just it might be a little bit too much. But we're gonna try and make it work where it is gonna be 1 month in the Bronx, 1 month in Brooklyn, 1 month in Queens, so that every month we still meet up and have a good time.
Yeah.
But then we bring in new people because the more you bring, the more it spreads. And I'm not saying this because I charge at the door now, but the more people come, the more friends you make. You know what I mean? I realize a lot of guys moved to college. I went away for college. Some guys no longer into comics, but you never know. You don't know what friends you're going to make at a Queen's comic party.
I've met a bunch of them.
Yeah, my best friend in my life right now is a guy I met there. You know what I mean? And I'm very grateful for that. You know, like in all honesty, I spend more time with you than I have with any friend in like 40 years of life. And we go out and do stuff and it's never stressful. And it's like, we don't have to have a sporting event or a punk band to play to hang out, which I love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love the Mets. And I love going to punk shows, but I don't have to do it every weekend, you know?
Right. Oh, you can't.
No, forget it. Could be for free. Just the energy you put into it. Forget about it.
Yeah. No, we got a good thing
Go
going.
eat dinner.
You got a good thing going.
Yeah, hell yeah. We're going to keep going. Go have dinner. Have a good night. I'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right, cool.
Later, everybody.
Bye.
Queen's Comic Podcast. Hey, hey, let's go.